don't want to just be here. I was like, sorry, my phone rang.
I put my thing on flight mode. Yeah, I was trying to be professional. And if it's that, you get me. Let me see what I'm going for the WhatsApp.
Welcome to Mek Sense with Melzy, where we make sense of the world we live in through real culture conversations. Let's face it, who really has it all figured out? I certainly don't, and this is why we need to make sense together. So on today's episode, I've got a very special guest. He is a Bruntown legend. He is an actor, director, and producer. He's most recently been featured in Champion, and he's got some big things to tell me today. So please welcome my guest, Corey Weeks.
Hello.
How are you? How are you today? How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, how are you doing?
Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
So I obviously heard about you prior to meeting you, and we met at the show a couple of months ago, and it was the first time that I actually went to the theatre in a long, long time. So obviously I got invited by Franklina. I know it was your show. And what I really loved about meeting you is that you had really good vibes and energy. I've seen different sides of you now. I feel like Corey has many different sides.
That's what mood I'm in, innit?
That's what I think it is. When you actually watch your work, kind of what goes through your mind at that point?
Depends if I think it's good, innit?
I get that. So if it's bad, what goes through you?
You know what, yeah, it's never really, oh, this is really bad or this is really good. You know what I'm saying? It's always just a kind of learning experience. And whether it's good or bad, there's going to be good things that I can pick out and say, you know what, yeah, I think that worked a lot. There's going to be bad things where I say, okay, boom, that's not working, so this is how I can improve it in the future, you know what I'm saying? So it's always just, I don't cringe or anything like that watching my work. I just kind of look at it as a way to better myself in it.
I think when you're quite creative, you're your own worst critique. Do you know what I mean? Someone that's watching you is not going to see what you're going to see.
If you look at it and think, boom, okay, I didn't like that, but I can critically break this down.
Yeah.
I can say, boom, this thing here didn't work because of X, Y, and Z, and here's what I'm going to do in the future, and that's constructive.
Yeah, constructive.
But if it's just oh, what am I doing? Then that's ego.
Yeah, it is. You're right. You are right. You are right. So I've been trying to humble my ego because it's not necessarily about what something looks. It's about what the message is, really, more than anything else.
Yeah. I think ego is especially for artists, is one of the biggest stumbling blocks for a lot of people. For me personally, there's definitely ego involved, but I think it's just about how you channel it, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to be better at what I do. That probably in its essence is there's a level of ego in that, you know what I'm saying? But you know, it's not superficial ego.
I know when we met a couple of months ago, you said something to me that never left me, and I'm kind of one of those people where I'm always open to talking to wise, mature, intellectual people that have been through something or that are standing in their purpose, because it's quite difficult to stand in your purpose. Not everybody finds their purpose in life. Do you get what I mean? So I'm always grateful when I come across people like yourself who are just really real. Do you get what I mean? Real with it. And I'm so Corey, I can act. So I used to do acting before, gassing myself up when I've not picked up a script for over 10 years. Who do I think I am? And Corey was like, you can't stand on stage with me. And I was like, excuse you? He was like, nah, you can't stand on stage with me because you need to gain experience. You need to be doing it every day. You need to be acting. You need to be immersing yourself in the role, the characters, the script. You can't just pop up and be like, oh yeah, I can cry on the spot and be an actor and stand next to someone like yourself who's been through university, who's gone to drama school, who's put in the actual work. And And then you went on to say, like, just like I wouldn't be able to sit next to you while you're doing podcasting or hosting because it's like two different fields. Do you know what I mean? And I've specialized in presenting and stuff like that. So my experience is going to be a lot wider than yours. But it really had me thinking, like, raw. And I spoke to my friend about this. I've told about 4 of my friends, you know.
Well, they said I'm interested to know what their perspective on that is.
I have the most realist people around me, like no cap. And they will be like, 100% right.
Yeah.
Everybody has to put in the work to get where you need to get. But again, it's a process.
I think, especially when it comes to the creative scene, I can speak more specifically about acting and all that kind of stuff in it, because obviously that's what I'm involved in.
Mm-hmm.
People think they can just get up and do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the young me when I'm like 19, and I thought I was a bad boy actor. Looking back, I was trash. And I'm probably in 20 years' time, I'm going to look back at me now and say, he's trash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, because I'm really dedicated to the craft. And it's not about, oh, you know, I want to be famous or none of that, because I don't like the idea of that anyway. It's actually just the enjoyment of, you know, delving into a character and the technical aspects of being on a set in TV, the technical aspects of being in the theatre. That's why I say you can't stand with me, because, and it's not anything about you. No. It's just,
the level of work you've put in.
Yeah, I know more because I've gained more information. You know what I'm saying? It's not an arrogance thing, because I know this set man that I can't stand on stage with.
Yeah.
I know that I'm going to be way better than I am now in 10, 20 years' time, just because it's a never-ending process of constant learning. And that's why when people say, because, you know, well, you see when you're on TV and that, you know, there'll be people say, oh, I could have done that.
Yeah, you do.
You hear all of that, I'm saying, but what work have you put in, though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you ain't been in the trenches in this acting thing, you ain't really been there.
Do you feel like that's important to, like, immerse yourself into the industry wholeheartedly in order for you to be successful?
Not the industry, the craft.
Oh.
I think they're two different things. The industry is all, you know, can I swear?
Knock yourself out.
All right, cool. Because it's not really a swear, but it's all tits and teeth.
Tits and teeth? That's such a brummy thing to say, tits and teeth.
Nah, that's more like an industry thing.
Okay,
you know,
okay.
Tits and teeth, like, it's all like a showy thing.
Yeah.
And I don't care about the industry. I just care about the art. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, dedicating yourself to your craft, whether it's within acting or anything else, whatever you do, to be really good at it. If you aim to be really good at it, you have to put in the work. You see, them people that will say, oh, I could have done that role, I could have played Bulla or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like me just saying, oh, to someone who's in a big tech company, oh yeah, I could just do what you do. Like, you ain't done the graft.
And I think some people don't realise, they see the finished product as well. They don't see all of the process and the techniques and the long nights and long days that goes into planning and doing all of that. Like, it ain't easy.
Yeah.
It ain't easy. I remember, and I know I'm not as much of an actor as you, so don't.
No, it's not that.
One thing that I did love about going to university and studying community arts, performing arts, shall I say, is back to our point about, like, critiquing and, like, watching something and being able to, like, critique it. Like, how can we improve the light? How can we improve the set? Like, what needs to change with the sound? Like, how can that transition be a little bit smoother? And I feel like those elements of university kind of filtered into my everyday life. Do you know what I mean? So anytime when I'm going into a job or I'm doing a project, I'm very critical and I'm always thinking about the little finer details that other people don't necessarily see.
Like, even for me, when it comes to watching TV and watching theatre, being an actor or a writer or a director or whatever has ruined my viewing experience.
What makes you say that?
I can't have the blissful ignorance of someone that wasn't in the industry or wasn't, you know, doing something like acting or whatever to just watch it. I have to analyze it, you know what I'm saying? Because I have to learn from it, is how I look at it. Like, there's very few films now that I can watch and I can actually just turn off that brain.
Right.
So if I get to that point where I'm just engrossed and I know this is called and then I might give it a second watch to say why did it have me so locked in? You get me? But in general, I watch things. I'm looking at these things like what you're talking about. You know, if you know a couple of lines didn't feel like they flowed, then I'm saying, oh, that's a bit. You know what I mean? I'm watching the acting. If someone's, you know, if there's inconsistencies, I mean, like I can't unless it's cold. Can't sit back and just watch it no more.
You seem like you're quite hard to please.
I am.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Because it feels like a standard thing to me.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Rather than, I just don't like it. It feels like it comes from a place of standards. I've been around. I've seen this.
Yeah.
So I know what something great feels and looks like.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like if I watch something and I feel like that wasn't good, then I'm always gonna have a reason why I think that. But at the end of the day, who cares about what I think? Because art is subjective. What I might watch and think, I wasn't feeling that. Someone might watch and it might change their life. So it's just an opinion.
That is very true.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not really bothered about. You see, if I watch something and what rare, someone might think, he's ugly. Okay, but then the next one thinks I'm top tier. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter to me. Like, and it shouldn't. I think when it comes to art, how I look at it is, I'm gonna make this piece of art the best it can be, and the most honest it can be. I'm gonna put it out there, and whatever people think they think. But I feel as if I did the best job I can do. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. I just put it out there, and
then just let it play out.
Yeah,
just meet out.
Obviously, sometimes there's time constraints in it, but if it's a thing where you've got all the time in the world and something is feeling out of place, then change it into you're happy with the entire piece of work. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say you're aiming for perfection, but again, it's different disciplines. You doing podcasts and me doing acting or whatever is different disciplines, but for me, what I'm aiming for is honesty.
Yeah. Do
you get me?
And I feel like that's probably what comes through the most when it comes to my podcast. I want to have honest conversations with people. Yeah. I want it to be real. And I want people to take something from that. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to just be here. I was like, sorry, my phone rang.
I put my thing on flight mode. Yeah, I was trying to be professional. And if it's that, you get me. Let me see what I'm going for the WhatsApp. Yeah.
Nah, my phone rang now. Disrespectful am I? Melzy, put your phone on silent, please. Let's go from the start for Corey. What ignited you into getting into acting?
I don't box myself into just being an actor, innit? I think I've always loved storytelling.
Oh.
I didn't identify it as such. We was having a conversation with my Bridget actually about, you know, if you come from certain areas or whatever, there are so many people that are really creative, but don't identify it as such. Because my origins in storytelling come from being like 11 to 12 years old. Just being at the park, see the man them beat on a Sony Ericsson and everyone spitting bars. And obviously you don't deep it at the time, but the man them was saying things that they probably wouldn't come and talk to you about, but they're saying it in a bar or whatever. And the way you're acting, that's hard, and rare. But really and truly, it's self-expression that they're doing. And sometimes it's storytelling. Like I had a disposition to like writing stories through my music from young. You get me? That's just kind of how I used to move and how I used to write. And then obviously I would do like, I remember I got cast like as like the main part in the Year 6 show and I was gassed. You get me?
Yes, not Corey in the Year 6 show.
I did the mad.
No, you did a Mazzelina. What did you do, tell me?
It wasn't a Rocky Horror show because that's quite X-rated, innit?
Yeah.
But it was like a spin-off of it. You get me? So, and I was playing like, you know in Frankenstein, the doctor that makes Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I was playing him basically.
Oh.
Yeah, man, I had a couple of tunes in there. So yeah, me a couple of solo tunes and that. Yeah, me a couple of songs and that. So I showed it down still. But I enjoyed that, and I was gassed to get that. And probably in hindsight, maybe my teachers might have saw that. But even in secondary school, really and truly, like when I look back at it, it's about wanting to fit in, you know what I mean, and like doing drama and all that, you know what I'm saying. I wasn't really the kind of pattern that my brethren was dealing with, you know what I'm saying. So I didn't explore that avenue.
Right.
I chose it though at GCSE.
Me too.
And I remember there was a time when they was doing like High School Musical and that, and my brethren's girlfriend was auditioning for it. So Osman just went and to do it, as you know, did the audition like to mess around. When I'm in there, really in my head, I'm thinking I kind of want to do this to get me back.
You kind of downplay that you really want to do it, like to the man, like I'm just gonna try a thing, just do something to do what really you want to do. Yeah.
But I was back in school, like doing foolishness, you know what I'm saying. So
secondary school, you realise that your acting's working for you. Then what happens next?
I don't.
So what happened?
So basically,
why are you trying to mess up my flow?
I'm not trying to mess up your flow. I'm trying to be accurate. I'm trying to be accurate about my journey.
All right.
He's mine.
All right, go on.
I was still rapping them times. Back then, I wanted to do music and that, but it was a weird time in it for rappers back then, because you know this is when SBTV and
Channel U
and you know, I don't know if I should say this, but you know, I definitely used to watch a lot of the Westwood Freestars.
Westwood was like...
Yeah, obviously I don't condone them, man.
Of course.
But yeah, like in Birmingham, there weren't really... There was one or two people doing their thing with channels and all that, but you couldn't really do the mad thing. You know what I mean? Like, there weren't really many men from Birmingham that was doing that. Obviously I was young. So back then, I used to just go to studio. It would literally be like, it would be like a tenner an hour. We would split, you know, the fee, you know, make a tune and put it on YouTube, you know what I mean, with a picture of me.
It's the way you said it, a picture of me.
You know, because back then, grime and all that, and that's my origins. I started with grime, you know what I'm saying, but grime and all that was, the only people that was popping in grime was in London, you get me? And then, you know, one and two people started coming through, rare. But I went to college, and I ended up choosing theatre studies as one of my subjects. But I actually only chose it because I thought I'd be able to mess around in there, innit? You get me? So I did theatre studies, psychology, religious studies, and English language and literature. And then fast forward a bit, obviously, just a bit disengaged and that, you know what I'm saying? So my drama teacher, but I say I was disengaged, but because bare my lessons I didn't go to, but theatre studies I always went, unless it was like a mock exam. For the mock exam, then I went. You know, anything real, I'm not going into this. There came a point in it where we was doing, it was actually a play called Our Country is Good, and we was doing some scenes from it. We didn't actually do much acting in theatre studies. It was more like the kind of the history of theatre and all this kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't very practical, but when we did do it, we did this thing called, this play called Our Country is Good, and I did a scene from it. And I remember this feeling like that I'd never ever had before, you know what I'm saying? Like, whilst I was doing this scene, I felt like I transported, you get me? And at that point, I said to myself, right, this is what I want to do. But I still didn't make a move on it because I had there's no actors where I'm from. Well, I didn't know of any anyway. You know, because if they are where I'm from, they're not still living where I'm from, you get me? So,
or not visible or not seen like that.
Yeah, so like the people that I looked up to or the role models that I had in my area or whatnot, or in my city, and that, like, they weren't doing that, you know what I'm saying? They weren't doing acting, so I didn't know how to do it. So I thought, right, this is sick. I really enjoyed this, but it was more just a thing of, oh yeah, I need to come to these lessons. And then further down the line, you know, I'm still missing a lot of lessons and lateness, and I just consider myself
disengaged from education,
a person who didn't know how to channel his energy.
Right. Yeah, because I do feel like there's a lot of kids, sorry to cut you, that like are not necessarily academic, it's still very rigid a little bit. And
yeah, I think that's what it is the lack of freedom. Because
right,
I wasn't. Yeah, it's not that I wasn't academic. I just couldn't. And this is something that I had to work on in my adult life. Is that if I didn't enjoy doing it, I couldn't do it.
right, that part,
You know what I'm saying?
that part,
But I think that's an issue.
100%.
You get me? That's a discipline issue. You should be able to do things that you don't want to do.
Yeah, you should have discipline and do things that you don't necessarily want to do. But if there's something that you don't want to do and your spirit's telling you don't want to do it, you're probably not supposed to do it.
I just think, there are plenty of things that we don't want to do that we have to. You know what I'm saying? And school is one of them. End of the day, school does set you up.
It does. It
It
does.
does set you up.
If you've got the right teachers. If you ain't got the right teachers, you ain't going to get set up.
You're not, and I think as children, you can blind that, but as adults, like, that's shifting responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Yeah, I agree.
I am responsible for my life. And that's why I don't want to be doing all the admin. I don't want to be sitting at the laptop and going looking through contracts and say communicating with people about this clause here and that clause there. Like, but I have to, because it's
things that you got to do.
It's part of getting to the goal. The work that I do with young people, I told them, I said, you need discipline. Like, doing something you enjoy is easy. The hard part is doing something you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
Then basically, ones and twos happened at college, and then
Was it 1 or 2?
ones and twos, and then my drama teacher, her name's Catherine Hale. Big up Catherine, you get me? Because yeah, man, she definitely. I'm gonna go back to another teacher actually afterwards, but she basically just sat me down and said, "Yo, what you on? You get me? Like, you're good at this. Like, you're really good at this. You know what I mean? And you could do this." And just kind of told me, the route. Obviously, before, as I said, I didn't know anybody that did it, so I thought it was just a thing like, someone comes and sees you on the street and say, "Yo, you want to be in a film?" And that's how you start being an actor. I didn't know there was a route into it.
Nah, me neither.
So she started telling me about drama school and rare. And then actually I was able to put a tangible plan together. You get me? And that's from then I just commit myself to it. You get me? But there was another teacher as well. Because, and you see when I'm talking about channeling energies, because what you're right in saying, teachers are very important. I had a teacher called Mrs. Abrahams, and she actually came to see that show that you come to see. She was there the same night.
Oh, was she? Should have introduced you to teacher. Could have got.
I think I did.
Did you?
I think I did.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
You
Like, I
didn't
always regret you. Why would I introduce
Yeah.
you?
Why are you lying for? Nothing.
I definitely introduced somebody, but it wasn't you still.
It's all right. We'll introduce me next time.
Yeah. But yeah, she was my religious studies teacher, innit?
Mm-hmm.
And she used to do things, and she, in hindsight, she must have seen this thing that I had in terms of performance.
Of
And
course.
you get me?
Mhm.
Because I remember, because I used to be like, she always used to keep me out of her class just for like chatting back and all that. You get me? Like, and just being a bit troublesome sometimes, innit?
Was you a chatty patty?
I was more just, I don't know, man. It was more just unfocused, innit? You know what I mean? Like, I was the type of guy that's, if I'm bored, I'll just like start flicking pencils at the teacher and that. You get me? Like, just doing stuff like that. Like, but not in a malicious way, just like
a jokey there, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was a class clown. Like, admittedly, I was a class clown.
Yeah, but yeah. So she used to send me out, and I remember there was one time where she came to me before class. She's like, "I'll come in here for a second." So I said, "All right, cool." I was like, I'm kind of vexed because it's break time, you get me? But she said to me, "Oh, this is what I'm gonna do," and she like set up a little role play, you get me, where she's gonna pretend to tell me off. I'm gonna pretend to get mad and I'm gonna start shouting at her, rare, and it's all gonna get on top, you get me? And she asked me to do that, you get me? So that shows me that one, she wanted me to apply myself to something, and two, she probably saw the kind of potential in terms of performance and rare. And there was a next time as well where she asked everyone to write a poem about the religion. You know what I mean? So I wrote a poem. Everyone had to write a poem as homework. I gave it in, and then the next lesson that we had with that, she printed it out, gave it to everybody. You know, gassing it up and rare. Had me performing it in front of like, and you know,
that is so cute. I could just imagine little Corey. That's so cute.
And she was like, she had me performing it in front of like, you know, the school board and all that kind of stuff. You get me? That was the first time and probably only time in school where I felt valuable. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, teachers definitely helped a lot.
Because I work with young people as well. Like, it's important to see what they don't see and bring that out of them, because that can change someone's life dramatically.
Definitely. I think that experience did something for me. It didn't make it fully click, but it probably made me avoid certain things from then until college. You get me? And then when we had that conversation, college, you know, she kind of just said it straight. You know, I'm really like, you can go this way, you can go that way, innit? Like, what you trying to do? You get me? And then she helped me out, you get me? And then ended up going to acting school, called the Academy of Live and Recorded Arts, on a scholarship.
So you got the fully paid?
Yeah.
What was that experience like at drama school?
It was good, man. You know, I mean, obviously it was like, you know, pros and cons, you get me? But I was just focused on the work. You know what I mean? I wasn't really, don't get me wrong, I wasn't like a recluse, but I wasn't really trying to do the social thing too much. You know, I'll tell you why, yeah, because, and this is verified because I got the award.
You have?
I got the award of best actor at college. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was sick. But when I got to drama school, I realized I'm around people that have been doing this thing since they were 6 years old, and they went to Brit school and rare. They was in this performing arts school. They was on this West End show when they was younger. They was in this TV show when they was younger, and rare. And you just got me, who I ain't really got no experience. Like, I never did no classes or nothing. I had a mentor, Philip Headley. I auditioned for a drama school, and then he basically pulled me up. And bearing in mind at the time, like, I don't really know I'm doing too much, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to handle Shakespeare text and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going in there, like, I don't even really know the lines like that.
Yeah.
I'm turning up late, you get me? Like, the discipline ain't there. And he just told me straight, yo, I thought after that audition was a recall audition, and I thought I smashed it.
Okay.
He was like, nah, you're not going to get into this drama school, but he said, I'll help you out. So he used to pay for me to come London.
Wow.
To help me with Shakespeare and all that kind of stuff. You get me? Rest in peace. He died recently. He died in January. But yeah, like, I had some real angels come into my life. You get me? Yeah.
And then you're now able to be an angel for other people.
Tried to be.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man. So yeah, the drama school's good though, man. You know what I mean? But because I thought I was sick then, I realized I got there and I said, yo, I'm trash. You get me? Like,
I need to do more work. Yeah.
I said to myself, this cannot be the dynamic. By the time I get to third year, you get what I'm saying? I need to level up.
Be in the room.
To level up. You know what? These are different with it.
What was different about them though? Like,
just experience.
Okay.
Just experience. Like, they'd been doing this.
Right.
So there's certain things that, even just down to like, they would have had, you know, acting lessons about, you know, different emotional impulses that cause a person to be the way a person is on the page or whatever. Like, they might be able, they will more easily be able to access vulnerability and all kind of stuff. Where my thing was, my references, the thing that really got me into acting in terms of watching was like kidhood and all that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just doing the bad boy thing all the time. You get me? Like, yeah. I'm not doing this.
You're trying to get emotional. Are you trying to cry? You want me to cry and be fire? Yeah. Like, no, like,
even if it's a vulnerable script, I'm doing the angry thing. Yeah,
right.
What? You get me? I'm doing all of that.
Okay.
I'm watching these just thinking, like,
they're really in it.
They're doing the mad thing, you get me? So I said to myself, yeah. I really need to lock in, you get me? So
how did you get to that place though? Because that must have been like an emotional shift for you? So what did you do in order to tap into those layers of emotion for you to be able to act?
Remove ego as much as possible. As much as possible. It's not, I haven't fully removed it all now. You get me? But me doing the bad boy thing is an ego thing. Because who I was around or whatever when I was younger, you had to be that. And if you start doing the soft thing.
In that acting world, you gotta tap into every emotion.
Yeah, exactly. But because really and truly, the people that was around in the city or whatever, or the area or whatever, my brethrens or whoever, everyone was doing the bad boy thing. Everyone was doing
Yeah.
Really, it's a fear response, I think. You get me? But it's a thing of not wanting to show any kind of vulnerability or anything. But you see, when you go to a space like the acting school that I went to, these lot just look at that like it's a idiot thing. You get me? Because what are you doing all that for?
Doing too much.
It's an overcompensation.
Yeah. What are you hiding behind that?
Yeah. So, but it was a personal journey. It was a journey of, let me figure out why I respond in this way and why this is my go-to thing when I'm acting, and just try and unpick that. You know what I'm saying? And little by little,
you find out. Where did that stem from? Where did that anger stem from?
I don't know if it was anger. Don't get me wrong, I was definitely angry. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if that was anger. I think it was fear. I think it's a fear response. But the thing is, when you're in a hostile environment, or you're used to being in certain hostile environments, like sometimes I'll tell them like stories that is just normal, and they're horrified. You get what I'm saying? So when you are in and around circumstances that feel like they could potentially be harmful to you, you have to try and be the aggressor before
anybody else does.
Anybody else can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's so sad.
So go. Unfortunately.
How did that feel, tapping into those emotions when you were at acting school?
I guess I had to learn how that looks being expressed. And I don't mean like how I'm going to be viewed. I mean like what it feels like to actually be open about that.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel too much aware about it because it's not me, the character in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always think about it like that, like now anyway. Back then what I was doing is I'm doing a part, but I still want to look tough.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
But now it's like I just serve the story of the character.
You're in acting school, you're immersing yourself in the acting, you're improving, you've gone through the 3 years. What kind of happens for you after that?
Obviously at the end of drama school you get a showcase. So we did that showcase, but I actually got selected for this thing called the Spotlight Prize, innit? So you know what Spotlight is, innit?
But tell everybody else that's watching that might want to get into acting what Spotlight is.
So Spotlight is basically like a kind of registry for actors. It's what you have to be on. That's, you know, where auditions come through and all that kind of stuff, you get me? So all castings come through. But so Spotlight Prize is a thing where each drama school will put forward one student in the third year to audition to do like a showcase, which is like 20 actors across all of the drama schools.
Okay.
So I got selected for mine. I did the audition for that and then I got selected for the showcase.
That must have been a proud moment for you though.
Definitely.
Like out of all of those people, like that probably made you feel, right, actually,
I'm all right at this thing.
I'm all right at this thing, I must be, yeah.
Yeah. So the Spotlight Prize showcase was on July 17th. The next day, I signed with my agent and graduated.
Oh, wow. In the space of like 3 days.
2?
That doesn't normally happen though, does it?
Yeah, it's quite commonplace to be fair.
What route do you recommend to your young people more than anything?
I just tell them the routes, innit? You get me? Because like, I think the route that I took was right for me. You know what I'm saying? It might not be right for everybody. I think for me, who never went into acting classes or nothing, I needed that 3 years to really just lock in and work on my craft.
Yeah.
Because people do this thing, yeah, where they step out too early. They step out before they're ready to step out. So now you're in a TV show and your performance is trash, and it's there forever. You get me?
Yeah. Nothing before its time, isn't it?
And that's how I felt like I needed to just really
Immerse yourself in.
I needed to learn. I needed to learn, and 3 years intensive, because it was intense, man. You know what I mean? We'd be there from like 8:20 in the morning to like 6 every day, acting every day.
So what kind of things have you picked up from drama school that you've kind of implemented in your acting school? Tell us a little bit about that.
So in terms of the stuff that I teach at acting school, it's more like the kind of the technicalities of being on camera, the technicalities of acting for camera. You know,
can you give me some examples?
For instance, like there was something that we learned at drama school called the donut technique in it, and it's like one of the first things that I cover if I'm doing like screen acting, because basically you have like the lens. So the lens is here and like around here, that's where you want your eye line to be.
Okay.
If it's too far out, then you can't get any of the eyes. Obviously, you can't look down the lens either, so you want it to kind of just be off the lens.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
If I'm going to do a look off, I'm not going to do it here.
Why does that do it here?
Because this can't see me. I'm not going to do it here because this can't see the eyes. It's just going to be here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So they get everything.
That's really good. So do you focus more on TV, acting, or theatre?
Both, you know.
Both. Okay.
Yeah. Both. The last time that we did it was just screen acting. Yeah. But the time before that, it was just theatre. So.
And it's for 16 to 30-year-olds, I believe.
Yeah.
And how are you finding like working with the students?
Sick, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Sick, man. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I work with people who come from. So when I told you about Philip, the guy who mentored me and you know would pay for me to come to London and teach me and whatnot.
Yeah.
That was at a time when I was looking for acting classes, but they was all too expensive. You know what I'm saying? And I weren't. Yeah, and I weren't really trying to do things at that time that was gonna be, that you know, weren't the best ways to make money in it. So obviously, I create vision just from my experience and that feeling like I wanted to go to acting classes. I wanted to be better at this, but there was no way that was affordable. You know what I'm saying? So
acting is expensive, like headshot. Then you've got to do the whole demo. Then it's not like a cheap industry to go into, and you might not even see money for a couple of years after you spent a couple of lakhs. Do you get what I mean?
That's why I pattern all that for my students, like headshots, show reels.
What are the main things you teaching your students in terms of like, what do you need to have in order for you to go into the acting industry?
I feel like it's more life lesson than it is acting. Obviously, yeah, we do like acting technique and that's the kind of bulk of it, but it's the discipline that you need. You know what I'm saying? It's the mindset that you need. It's the resilience that you need that is more important than any of that. But like, my thing is, I've been through too much fuckery in life for a no to an acting audition to break me, you get me? You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it takes people, because it can go one or two ways. Sometimes people can go through a lot and they resist difficulty because they've faced so much difficulty, so they resist it. Or sometimes people can be like, you know, I've been through all this, so okay, I can go through that as well, you know what I'm saying? So it's just about kind of shifting the mindset from running away and avoiding things that are hard to running towards them, innit? Yeah,
because that's like rejection, man. Like nobody really likes rejection, but I feel like as a creative, acting specifically, like you have to get used to like someone saying no. And, you know, like you said, it's that universe kind of testing to see whether you act, how much do you really, really want it.
Yeah, this is it, man. You know what I mean? Like, end of the day, acting is the kind of thing, you can't half-heart this.
No.
Like, it's too hard. You better be all in. But you gotta be all in healthily though.
Right.
You gotta have options in terms of like, if I don't get an acting job, I know I'm patterned.
Right.
Whether it's me, what I'm doing at Vision, whether it's a writing job, whether it's a directing job, there's always something to do for me. That's because I put my fingers in different pies. You get me? And I've made sure I'm never going to struggle for work.
But see, for some people, they're not able to do that. Some people are not able to do that.
Why?
Just they either don't have resources or don't have the mindset or don't know actually how to do that. Like, I know when I was like, I used to work at a call centre in London called GoGen, and there was bare actors there, whole heap of actors. I was literally surrounded by actors, but because it was like a flexible kind of call centre job, a lot of them did that work just to pay the bills in order to still go to auditions.
Yeah. But I'm not going to do anything that's infringing upon my happiness. And me working in a call centre all day would definitely infringe upon my happiness.
Gosh, those are some hard times, boy. Hard times.
Like my ultimate goal, and this actually happened for me probably a couple of years ago now, 2.5 years ago maybe, after lockdown.
Yeah.
Was when I really solidified it. My ultimate goal has always just been to be able to sustain myself doing what I love.
Right. And I think one thing that you said to me when, we met up last time is, like, you have to be immersing yourself in creativity every day. So there really is no room for anything else to come in. If it's not creative, I'm just not doing it. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's where I'm at in terms of career. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like, you have to take breaks.
Yeah.
I should probably take my own advice on that. You know what I'm saying? We definitely have to take breaks. For, your mental health and whatnot.
Of course.
But
because of that mindset, it's impossible.
Yeah. But I just can't dedicate so much of my energy to running someone's call center or making sure that someone's bar is running. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's the easier route. It's easy to just go and get a bar job. It's not easy to try and build up an empire. You get me? That's why we're out here.
You've got to do it. Someone's got to do it. So what do you prefer most? Like acting, directing, writing?
Seasonal.
If you had to choose one, or do you like them all equally? Because you did say it's seasonal, but I'm like, if you had to give up one, because think about it, you could get.
If I had to give up one, I'd give up directing.
Okay, why would that be?
I've done less of it.
Okay, so you feel more like comfortable doing more writing and acting because you feel like that you've done more of that than.
It's not about comfort. I haven't deep dived into directing in the same way that I've deep dived into writing and acting. I've spent less time on it.
So when you're writing a script, how do you start that? What does that starting point look like?
So obviously I'll kind of, how it usually happens for me, I have like some sort of stimulus.
Okay.
It might be a conversation that I've had, or it might be something that I've seen, or you know what I'm saying? And then I'll start with that stimulus and kind of, how I do is I spider diagram it. So I do I have like a massive piece of paper, write this in the middle, boom, what characters can come out of that? What other scenarios and situations can come out of that?
Okay.
Where I do all these notes, and then I'll create a structure. So I'll just write it down in note form, like bullet points kind of thing. Like this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this is the climax, and then this happens, and this happens, and this happens. This is the conclusion. You know what I mean? And I'll beat it out like that, and then I'll kind of expand upon those bullet points when I start writing.
And then you then kind of get into the deep dives of like the scenes and stuff like that. What's been your favourite thing to write so far?
I've enjoyed writing the play that I'm working on at the moment.
Okay, what's that?
It's called Quicksand. So I won a competition called a Doctor Playwright. So and they've kind of given me a set amount to write this play. So yeah, I've enjoyed that. It's the longest play I've ever written. I mean, it's only a first draft at the moment. But like before that, the longest play I wrote was another play called From the Band with Love, which was like 85 pages.
Whoa.
With Quicksand so far is 130.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's gonna get cut though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's another way I work in terms of like I'll get it all down.
Yeah.
And then I can
trim down at a later stage. Yeah. Because then I suppose you get all of your ideas all in one place then, don't you? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your recent feature in Champion.
Yeah.
Man, like bulla cake.
Yeah.
Do you like bulla cake?
It's alright. Yeah. It's alright. I've heard this one about 100 times. Yeah. Sit down.
I like bulla cake, but it's a bit dry, innit? It's not. It's a
Yeah.
bit dry. Yeah. So I finally watched it. Really enjoyed it. Absolutely loved the storyline. Really loved the fact that they were filming like in Birmingham. I can see like Birmingham in the shots. I was like, oh, I know that place.
Yeah.
What was working with the cast? What did that feel like for you?
Oh, that was sick, man.
Was it? What was sick about it?
It was a really kind of fresh and vibrant cast. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody, you felt like everybody still had the hunger. You know what I mean? I've been on sets where I feel like I'm the hungriest there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But we was all just throwing out offers. Each scene that we did, we were throwing out little things, and you know, we're catching them and throwing out offers back, and rare, and it was just fresh, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, also it being a cast of a lot of people that all come from similar places.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there was a kind of synergy there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed it.
You know, you had that bad boy. You were a bully, essentially. Is that why you was called Bulla?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know them. Yeah, I didn't.
But your attitude just stung, man. You just dash to the top. You play that role so well, where it's just like,
yeah, acting, yeah. Oh, you're killing it. You're killing it.
you probably played that. I like that.
Yeah.
And I really like the storyline as well, like, because they covered a lot of things on, like, Vita's character. Like, even her, like, a lot of women, especially in our community, like, we are the givers. We're the ones that make sure the men are okay. We're the ones that are nurturing naturally. Do you get what I mean? That's who we are. But sometimes by doing that, like, you put your own career on the lifeline, you put your own career on the back burn. So that scene in the bedroom of those girls both singing, it was just something that every black girl could, like, relate to, like, in the room with your girl. Do you know what I mean? Like, reading off a song from back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, even the So Solid, like I said, I watched the episode again, and I actually clocked the glisten of the eye in the little girls. I clocked that for the first time yesterday. And it is that click. Sometimes it's just that one thing that you see that, like, ignites something in you, like, raw, like, and it stays with you, you know?
Yeah, I think that's what the show did well. I think in some capacity, everyone that I've had a conversation with that has watched it, you know, has related to it in some way, shape or form. You know what I'm saying? It's real kind of ground level drama, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, which, you know, it could have easily gone the other way, you know, because it's musicians and all that. It could easily just be like, oh, we're just in a different world.
Yeah.
I can't relate to none of these people because they're celebrities and rare. But yeah, it just showed the kind of human element of these people that are just doing a job, essentially.
Yeah, it really is. And even the fact that Vita was dating her brother's brethren. Like, as sisters, we can't date our brother's brethren. Like, that's like, and if you got, like, a brother, I could ever date any of my brother's brethren.
This was a point of debate still.
Like, really?
Yeah, man. I was saying it's not on, you get me? Like,
Yeah.
It's not on from either side, so it's not on.
I agree.
It's not on my best friend.
What? What? You do that?
But I think it just depends on the dynamics in it. I can't say, you know, like, you know, nobody should do it, you know what I'm saying? See, it's situational in it, but me personally, I'm not really on that. Like, I wouldn't get with my brother and sister.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you on this. Like, I feel like that's just certain
lines
certain codes. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a code thing. Like, where I wouldn't really deal with anybody that's dealt with any of my friends, any of their exes, or like even if my friend's got a cousin. So you really enjoyed Champion. The cast was great.
Yeah.
The cast looked great, sounded great. What have you got coming up? Have you got anything interesting coming up that you want to tell me about?
Yeah, so me and he actually played Rusty in the show.
Kieran was hard, by the way. Sorry, can we just talk about Kieran for 5 minutes?
That's what the man.
Because I met you both at the same time, and these two guys, man, when I met them, man, you two were just like, I don't know what you guys were on, but we were just vibes in. But Kieran in Champion was so good. Like, he played his character so good. Like, it didn't even feel like she was acting. That's how it felt for me.
And that's the goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt like it came from his core, the character. You know what I mean? Even when he linked up with the man, even when he came to the club and he's there badding up the security guard, like, that moment there is so normal.
Yeah. That's what we aim to do, man. You know what I mean? The most honest depiction that we can create.
And you both was in Grime Boy. Is that where, like, your relationship developed with Kieran?
Yeah, obviously we knew of each other before that, you know what I'm saying? But you know, when you're in a process where you're in the theatre and you're doing a show, you're rehearsing for 4 weeks, then you know you get to know a person a bit better, innit? Like, it was cool, you know what I'm saying? It'll be a thing where if I see myself famous thing, like, everything good, yeah, but we never really knew each other on that level.
Right.
But then when, you know, sometimes with people you just realise that, okay, this is one of my peoples, you know, from early.
Yeah.
Get me? So
Am I one of your peoples?
yeah. One of the man them, so you're one of the man them.
Thanks. I'm one of the man them. You heard that. Yeah, I can see how, even talking to both of you at the same time, like, I feel the synergy between you guys. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's like a genuine connection. There's a genuine friendship. Like, you genuinely both want to build something special.
100%. And we got similar ethoses as well in terms of, like, what matters to us, you know what I'm saying, artistically and also, you know, socially as well. Do you get me? So that's why, you know, I've got the merch on now, you know what I'm saying? I've got the That's a Rap merch.
That's a Rap.
Yeah, so we created a company called That's a Rap. So what we do with the company is we do some consultation. So that might be going into, like, you know, a theatre that's doing a show with rap music and consulting on that to make sure that that's of a high standard.
Okay.
Same with TV. We go into, like, drama schools as well to kind of, you know, teach people how to mesh acting with rap music and whatnot. You know, we do community work, so that's with, you know, schools or community organizations and rare to kind of, that's more about the kind of storytelling aspect of rap music and the self-expression aspect of rap music. And we also create shows as well.
I love that.
So that's what we got coming up now. So we're working on a musical adaptation of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my gosh, Romeo. How far?
It's not the Lions.
It's not the Lions, is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
that'll be really cool.
It will be. So we're working with the Belgrade in Coventry.
And that's with Corey Campbell. Yeah.
So he'll be directing the show.
Amazing.
So it's going to start at the Belgrade in Coventry, then it goes to the Bristol Old Vic, then it goes to Northern Stage in Newcastle, and then Hackney Empire. And there's probably going to be more venues added as well.
Yeah, of course.
I'm saying, but that'll be running for, I think it's 12 weeks, so 3 months.
It's so cool. And I feel like Romeo and Juliet is like one of the main Shakespeare plays that everybody knows.
Exactly, and you know, what we're doing is a lot of it is the original verse, the original text, and then we kind of fit in certain gaps and whatnot with music. Sometimes rap music, sometimes R&B. You know what I'm saying, like real kind of current music that is going to entice young people to come and appreciate, you know, that kind of work as well, and bring a different audience into theatre, because we're not really, as a company and as a collective, this is including Corey Campbell, that is, we're not really interested in the kind of just bringing the same old audiences to theatre and doing the same old kind of shows that don't really engage the younger generation. So, you know, the music in there.
And I feel like music brings so much to life.
100%.
Add an element of music into anything just it brings a different level of emotion, I find.
100%.
You know, like you've got someone that acts, but then when you kind of bring in that music, it's like...
It's different.
It's just different.
It's different because, like, you get a kind of a visceral reaction to
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like it's a feeling, you know what I'm saying? And it can be captured with acting, but with music, it's just, I don't know, it's like a spiritual reaction almost to the sounds, and you know what I mean? Like, so this is like me and Kieran basically going back to our roots, because both of us started with rapping before acting.
Yeah.
So both like, it's now a storytelling through rap music with a story that is well known. You know what I'm saying? We're really excited about it, and really kind of happy to have been given the opportunity to be co-producers on it as well. So we're also co-producer on the show. So yeah, it's gonna be a huge move, man.
That sounds big.
I remember being in school, and we might be looking at a play or whatever, and you go to the theatre and it's just some dry up production.
Yeah.
Imagine now the youths we're learning this in school. They say, "How we're going to the theatre to watch it." They're like, "Oh, can't be, you know what I mean?" And then they come and watch the mad thing. They come and watch the man them are rapping, you know what I mean? And they're gonna be engaged, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, because I feel like theatre comes across as like it's for the upper class individuals. Do you know what I mean?
Which is, it's the opposite of how it began.
Yeah,
it began. People, you know, even Shakespeare, them actors and whatnot, it was from the trenches. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, when the kind of restoration period of theatre happened, where basically it was a political thing, because there was political statements being made in theatre. They wanted to make sure that, you know, these kind of lowly working class people couldn't make political statements. So it became now an art of the you know, the middle to upper class.
Yeah, was that like Bertolt? It was political. Is it Bertolt?
It was all political back then. He's not English though, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, like, it was all political.
Yeah. Because getting a different message across. And again, it's another way to get a message across. Because back in those days, you didn't really have like TVs.
Yeah, so
that was your way of...
So that was the way of getting our political opinion through art.
Yeah.
And then they tried to hijack art. So now when you hear Shakespeare, it's all posh voices and all that, but it was never that.
No.
But now we're bringing it back to the essence.
I love that.
You get me?
Back to basics.
Back to basics.
What are you excited about most about this project?
I think, you know, the creative process of, you know, the storytelling through the songwriting and all that kind of stuff is really kind of exciting to me. It's really exciting to Kieran, exciting to Corey Campbell, exciting to everyone on the project. The biggest thing is about the young people that we can get in to watch this show and inspire them, you know what I mean? Inspire them that you're not just your circumstances, you're not just your surroundings. There's so much opportunity and potential to be great, you know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you guys. I love the fact that you're both still acting and doing your own thing, but you're still bringing it back home. You're still bringing it back to the community. You're still understanding that you need to make way for others to kind of come through. And I really appreciate that. That's on some Cat Williams shit. Do you get what I mean? I rate that a lot. One last question to end, Corey. At what point do you feel like you've reached success?
I feel like I've reached success already.
Love that.
I think, as I said earlier, my goal was always to just, you know, enjoy what I do and get paid for it and sustain myself off the back of it. And I've reached that. So everything else is just an extra. Coming from where I come from, you know, where I'm at now is beyond my wildest dreams already. You get me? So
that's amazing. And congratulations on like all of your success.
Thank you.
I can see the light in your eye, like you're still hungry for it.
100%.
You know, and that's what
that will never change.
That's what keeps you going. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And I'm so excited about this new project.
It's gonna be mad. It's gonna be mad.
So excited. So where can people find you? Where can people find That's a Wrap? So we can get all of the inside on this.
Yeah, so Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. It's Corz or Corey, so CORZ or COREY. And then That's a Wrap is That's a Wrap LTD on everything as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Mek Sense with Melzy. If you like what you hear, if you like what you see, make sure you click that subscribe button. We're available on all your podcast platforms. And of course, you can also find us on Instagram at Mek Sense with Melzy. See you soon.